Happy today. I am William Brown from IamWilliamBrown.com. Welcome to Disconnect to Connect One Word Conversations. This is the moment where I tell you about our sponsor, I Am William Brown, and everything that's available there for you, where you can have a conversation with me, or you can get your U journal, your U cards, or the books from the Beyond the Shell book series. It it's a fun day because there's one of those awkward moments when I realize that there is a couple of how my brain works. Let's just say that. So I will set the intention for today using my U cards, and the I am card is I am full of grace. I am full of grace. You are worthy, and it's kind of funny because I picked this card last Saturday. It is You I Like. It's You I Like from Mr. Rogers. Yeah, just look up that song, and it's a great song. So I will introduce you to our word for today. And when I wrote this word down, and when I was excited about doing this show, doing this word, and I was like, okay, I talk about, live your life, live. And right before I was getting ready to do this show, I was like, oh my God, that's live, right? And it was like, and it's like, so we're gonna have a conversation, however this word occurs, to to my guest, and I'll bring her in, and we will have a conversation about live and live. So I will bring up the my guest, and we will have a conversation. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. This is the moment where I ask my guests to introduce themselves however it feels comfortable to them.
Okay. Uh, hey, world. My name is Nikeema Lee, formerly known as Nikeema Lee in the world of the many. I am a beautiful, amazing, and dope individual. Let me just start there. Uh, I have done so many things in my life that I'm just excited about where I am today. So, from an introductory perspective, I think that I'm just a muse for the world. I'm here to provide uh, leadership, guidance, and grace um, to to many who will listen. So, I am a business owner, an author of 5 books, and I have a multitude of awards and certificates. I'm a certified life coach and a minister, ordained minister. And I just really, really believe in your movement, and I enjoyed your book, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much. I first met you at my launch party and everything, and it was just such an amazing and so surreal in some cases, and so
Hmm.
I am so honored for to be able to talk to a dope person, right?
I know, right? It doesn't
Saturday
happen every
morning,
day.
right? It doesn't happen
Right,
every day. There's not a lot of dope people that I'm talking to, right?
right.
But so how does the word live or live show up for you?
Now, see, that's the question. How are we defining it? Because when I saw it, my first reaction was, well, how are we going to use this? Because when we talk about living, right?
Right.
We talk about um, how we go live, especially in today's world and in today's um, conditions. We are going live every day. There's so many people who are living in that see me now, this is my life, but
Right.
um, it's also how we're living, how we live. Um, it's just, I think in a sense, we as not just a nation, but as a world, we're doing both of them almost simultaneously.
Wow.
Um, and to be able to tap into that with the internet and all the streaming that we do, I think we showcase that um, in how we live, and
Right.
that we live live. We live in this moment, and I think
Right.
it's important too that we live in the moment, and a lot of people sometimes don't. And I
Right.
think that's really a tragedy, that some folks live either in the future or the past, and it sometimes leaves you melancholy
Right.
because people don't appreciate what's happening right now. You know.
Right. Wow. I really appreciate that. It was, I can just tell you, and I'll share. I was just embarrassed because I tried to be like so like, put together and and everything like that. Okay, okay, I'm getting ready for my show and everything, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's like my mind is all over the place, but you have just framed it in a way that is so beautiful of that we are live and we're living our life at the same time. It is just like
Hmm.
right in front of me. And I don't know if it's because of technology, because of, live streaming and everything. But and that most of our, all of our phones, not all of them, because my mom still has a non-smartphone because
Hmm.
because she just wants a phone, right?
Right.
But most of us have this very powerful camera and video and thing, in the palm of our hands. So at any
Hmm.
moment, our life is live, right?
Right.
And it is just something that how we can show up to our life and broadcast our life, at the same time. That is
Same
just
time.
like it's
Hmm.
just messing with me, right?
And maybe that was intentional. Maybe the universe decided today was a day that we would highlight that we live our lives out loud, and we
Right,
live, and we live live. Like we have to be just not just present, but we have to be intentional
right,
about what it is that we do. And I think we miss that sometimes. We miss just the glory that is surrounding us. When you go and you at the grocery store, especially nowadays. Hey, how are you? I'm okay. I'm fine, or
right,
I'm so right. And it's
right,
like, but there's like, I can point out 2 million people who didn't wake up today, right?
right,
Or 100,000 folks who don't have legs,
right,
and I can point out 75,000 people who are blind, or I
right,
can point out, so we as people who are whole in our physical body, but then if you're also whole in your physical body, and you're whole in your mental body, and you're
right,
whole in your spiritual body, or you have a combination of the two, right?
right,
You've got to think about, I have so much more than someone else does, right?
right,
So I should be grateful. I should be happy. I should be thankful. And in that bubble of honesty and truth, you're like, so how's your day? You know what? I'm pretty fantastic. I'm
right,
pretty
right,
bad. I'm doing pretty good because my neighbor lost her mom yesterday to coronavirus, or my job laid me off. But I still have a roof. I'm still making a way. I'm still getting the bills paid. I'm still, and we tend to overlook the grace that we are being given each and
right.
every day, trying to chase an idea. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that is right. I mean, the one thing that I do, I say happy today, right?
Mhm.
It's like a declaration, and it's a way for me to stay present.
Mhm.
That it is I choose to make today happy. However that shows up, however
Mhm.
I define happiness and everything, but I stay present in my day. and
Mhm.
it is something that I wouldn't say it's hard, but sometimes I get distracted by um, the cares of my life, right?
Mhm.
And how how I want to show up or how I am showing up and all that other kind of stuff. But the more that I guess embrace that, I'm broadcasting my life. My life is
Right.
being broadcasted.
Right.
I felt that. I started this show. You know, um, I think this is show number 88, right? 88
Mhm.
days ago. And my friend was like saying, "Hey, what are you gonna do?" And it's like, "Well, I'm thinking about doing this show," and he's like, "Well, okay, well, start tomorrow." And it's like, well, I need a haircut, and I got this thing on my face. I had all these reasons for not
Right.
going live, and he was like, "No, I'm your guest tomorrow, and you're starting your show tomorrow."
Right.
And
Yeah,
it
go
was
live and just live.
right, right, and it's like, so it's like I have been live and living in within this conversation for the past 88 days
Mhm.
because I really embrace going live, right?
Right.
Broadcasting these conversations, and it's just like I said, it's really fascinating. And like I said, I overthink things, but I'm just kind of catching up with um, I guess my embarrassment, and I think that's
Oh.
what you were saying is that the universe was like, hey, we're gonna put these things together and see how this is happening for you right now, and it's
Mhm.
like too often I it's like either or, it's like I'm this
Mhm.
or that, but there's an and to my life, and the and
Mhm.
to my life in this word is that we are, in order for you to live there, you have to go live.
Mhm.
It's all of those things. Wow. Okay. Now I'm going to turn over to you and kind of see if there's anything else coming up for you, because it feels like I'm rambling, and I'm just kind of like the head emoji, boom, right.
No, that's it. I think that's the catchphrase for today. Just live and go live.
Right.
Just live and go live. Don't think about it, because a lot of times, for those who have a spiritual walk, um, we get caught up in the semantics of how I'm going to do something, right? And
Right.
God really wants us to just really just trust, right? Really just
Right.
take the step. For some folks, they need to step off the cliff. Some folks, they need to jump out the airplane. But for
Right.
for those who are living life a little bit safer, it could literally just be hit the go live button. It could
Right.
literally be just you know fill out the business application, get an
Right.
EIN number, just take the little baby steps that are going to
Right.
change your life, especially with this virus and how we have seen how the world identifies what we do, right?
Right.
From an
Mm.
essential worker to someone who got laid off, right? You know where you are in the pecking order of how
Right.
society views you, right? So now's the time to define how you want to be defined. Don't
Right.
wait for the job to come back. Create your own job. And when I mean by that, like, don't be scared. Like, Nikeema, I don't have any money. You don't need money. You know how many people have gotten rich making masks right now?
Mm.
We
Right.
see a problem and have a solution. So, right now, as we start to reveal different issues, like if you're having a problem, try to find a way to solve it and sell that to someone else, because
Right.
someone's having that same problem you're having, right?
Right.
Like for me, for an example, my son is autistic,
Mm.
but the schools may not open, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking about how am I going to, because he needs school, he needs that structure. He can't just stay home all day because it doesn't benefit him. But
Right.
I can't stay home because, one, I don't have the proper training to train him and tend to him and give him the things he needs in order to blossom. There's
Right.
special people who went to school for that. So
Right.
how can I create a space where other parents who are like myself, who have children who have special needs, they need places to go during the day. They need care, but the one or two places that have these, they're full,
Right.
right? So what do I need to do? I need to call all the special needs teachers that I know,
Right.
and I'll give you, $5,000, $10,000 if you want to start a business. I will help you start your business. I
Right.
will help you start a special needs daycare, or I will help you start, just need 3 kids. As long as my kid is one of those kids,
Right.
get you
Good.
to, get you two more special needs children and start your own little space, and I'll give you some seed money, and we'll work out, like financials and all that. But I got to figure out a way, I encourage our listeners and viewers to do the same thing. Look around, see the problems that you're having, and then figure out a way to solve them. And then once you've solved it, you can then take that and sell it to the world, because I'm sure other people are going to have that problem. So it's
Right.
all about living, and it's all about living live. It's all about
Right.
living now. It's all about
Right.
doing now. It's not about waiting, because this is normal, right? Everybody keeps saying, I can't wait to get back to the new normal. Like, this
Right.
is the normal, right? There's no
Right.
going back, right? So we're
Right.
going to live in a world where we're social distancing. We can't touch people. We can't hug folks. So how do I get that connection back? Show me a way that I can still connect with people and get that fulfillment that I would if I can give a hug, right? I
Right.
don't want a virtual hug. I
Right.
want to touch a skin. I want to be
Right.
able to touch. So show me, how can I do that? Does that mean I have to go through a disinfecting spray curtain
Right.
before I can hug somebody? Do I
Right.
have to get like a cough test? Like, show me how I can get that back, or show me how I can decipher which Netflix shows I should watch first. Give me a top 10 of the week or something like that. Or
Right.
show, whatever the problems that you're having, again,
Right.
find a way to solve it, and then live your life and go live.
Right. No, I think that's great, and I think what you were talking to about resources and being resourceful. I think that I got that from Tony Robbins a couple years ago. That he says, our problem isn't resources; it's our resourcefulness.
Mm-hmm.
We really get kind of, and I'll speak for myself, get so caught up with, what I don't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus what I have. And I love how you said, just figuring out, acknowledge that this is normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is. This is current reality. But I have needs within this reality, or other people have needs in this reality. What am I going to do to meet those needs or get those needs met?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of pining or being mad because how I used to solve this problem, I can no longer solve this
Longer
problem
solve it.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that, really, that can only happen if you're living, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that, those new ideas, those new ways. If people didn't acknowledge that mass, the mass business is an
Mm-hmm.
option. If there's like, yeah, we've never done that. That makes no sense. We wouldn't have mass right now, right?
Right.
People said, okay, they accepted that reality and says, I'm gonna go live, right?
Right.
Put the, and just make it happen, make it available, make and all that. And I think most of our lives, it seems like it's simple and it's easy in some cases. I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, going back to my reluctance to go live, right,
Mm-hmm.
was just because in comparison of other people going live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like the other side is, it's I don't show up in my life because how other people are living their life.
Mm.
And it's like, What's that got to do with me?
Right.
Nothing. you
Nothing.
know, nothing. So I just
Nothing.
I need to live and go live.
Right.
It's like, but I'm so concerned with other people are doing or not doing, and it got nothing to do with me.
Nothing. Nothing. I A good example of live and go live is a fashion designer by the name of Christian Siriano, one of my favorite designers. I watched him when he did the next top designer. What is the name? Oh, I can't remember the name of the show. But anyway, well, the fashion industry shut down. They couldn't do fashion shows and all that other stuff. So he started making masks. So he employed his seamstress continuously because they started making masks. They're stationed out in New York City.
Right,
So, where it was, major.
right,
So they were able to supply masks free. So now they're designer masks. So now that the wave is kind of coming back,
right,
everybody wants these designer masks
right,
because everybody has a personality and nobody wants to wear those blue
right,
disposable ones, right? Everybody has their own little style. So
right.
now you can get you a Christian Siriano mask, right? And you've got this designer mask thing going on. So he utilized the resources that he
Right,
had
right,
and made a new lane for himself. And we can all do that.
right,
I gave him as an example, and he's famous. But if you're like, well, Nikeema, I don't have seven seamstress and a studio to make these things, and I'm like, well, but you have a hot glue gun
right,
and needle and thread, or you have, cardboard boxes in your garage, and you can go do something with that. You
right,
just have to believe that you can. And in some cases, we don't believe enough in ourselves to live and go live. And I
right,
want to, say, I'm so proud of you for taking your friend's advice and just getting out there and stepping out there and just doing it. And as you see, as you're falling forward,
right,
the grace that God has given you to do
mm,
88 shows in a
right,
time where, you don't have an outlet,
right.
and to be able to provide this one word show for folks, I think it's a great thing that you decided to do. So congratulations to you.
Well, no, I appreciate it. It's like I I want to. There's a part of me that wants to accept that and just kind of be in that.
Hmm.
But then the other part is like, dude, you're just doing a Facebook show, right? You just get over yourself, right? I mean, it's really showing up in a lot of other areas in my life that
Hmm.
I am willing to fall forward, as you say. I've never heard that before, or I've never listened to that and felt that the way that you said it. It's just
Hmm.
like being okay, having that faith that I may fall on my face with this, or I may be held up through and kind of guide through this, but I'm moving forward.
Hmm.
I am moving forward in this, and just be willing to fall and trust and believe and all those things that come up
Right.
within that falling and in that going live and living. And I think there was a large part of my life that I can honestly say I wasn't living.
Mm.
It was other people's expectations, and I was just doing that, as my husband label, father label, worker, label, whatever, and that's what I was doing. And when someone says, "Hey, what do you do for fun, or what do you do outside of all of this?" It was like
Yeah. What's your
nothing.
hobbies? You're like,
Right.
no, I don't have hobbies.
It's like that keeps my time. That's a full
Right.
time, that's a full time job for me. But the more that I've been on this, what I've called, a self development or discovery journey and a spiritual journey, what I'm really coming to terms with, it is just a spiritual journey. It's
Hmm.
like it's all the more that I really embrace this spiritual journey, there is this discovery, this self discovery. And I one of the scriptures that I use within my U cards, and it kind of happens in my coaching, is Jeremiah 1:5. With
Mm.
I knew you before the womb, before the
Mm-hmm.
foundations of the world, paraphrasing. And it's
Right.
that you that I'm seeking, that I'm on the journey
Mm-hmm.
to connect to ask people to discover. And that was my way within my book of, what makes you you, or who are you. It is looking at, we are already made. We are whole and complete. What
Mm-hmm.
makes what the question really within that is, what are you allowing to make you? Right, you
Right.
know because you're already you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're allowing the labels and other people's expectations of you to become you, and that's not you.
Right.
And
And
yeah,
that's beautiful.
i
I think
I
we do that. I think we
yeah.
do that a lot. We live up to um we define ourselves by how others have defined us.
Hmm, right.
Let's go. I like it.
And that's what's, I think that's what kept me from living and going live,
Going
right?
live. I'm telling you,
Right,
that's
right,
it today.
that's it. That's it. And it's like, that's because it really wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
It was somebody else. They were all, that was already, it's like, well, I can't go live. It's already, somebody's already doing that. There's like a
Mm-hmm.
variation of that. There's an expectation of that. That's all. And I really don't understand how they want me to do it. I felt like no
Right.
one's going to listen to me unless, I got my hair cut, right? No one's going to listen to me if I didn't, if I had the right things on, and all the other expectations that I put on myself, instead of just living and going live,
Going
right?
live.
Right, and it's just like, the more that I just show up, I think too often it's like, I don't know why, I'm showing my age, but it just came up, what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't Dwayne, it's like, hey, 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 it walks in the room,
Yeah.
right? It's
Right.
like, you feel like, there's like this feeling that I have to like make an announcement when I come in a room. Just show up. You don't have to like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to be a major production or anything like that. But
Right.
I think people notice when you show up versus, just being in a room and not showing up, not
Right.
going live. And there was many rooms that I have been in that I wasn't live, right? I
You
was
wasn't you.
just right. I was
Mm-hmm.
I was just there. There was this networking thing I got to do. Got to show up for this event.
Right.
And wonder why I wasn't connecting to people, because I wasn't there, right? That's it's like, wow. So now it just kind of transformed how I connect. How I do
Mm-hmm.
networking, right? It's like, in order to that networking thing to work, I gotta be there, right?
Right. Right. That's how this thing works.
Right. And it's like, if I want to be in relationship, if I want to, if I want to be in business, I have to be there.
Hmm.
And wow, I I'm really getting it. I think this is it's it's really it's really causing me to look at the calling of my life, right?
Hmm.
There have been times when I felt called to do something, and it's like, with the technology of caller ID, you look at it and go, yeah, I'm not answering that. It's like, I know what that's going to require. I'm not doing that.
Right.
You
Not right
know,
now.
but there is a now with an awareness of myself. There is awareness that when I get these callings, it's like, let's see where this is going to go.
Hmm.
I'm gonna show up. What and you're doing a lot of different things, or a lot of labels showed up to this conversations, but
Hmm.
to start off as this muse, dope individual that just kind of embraces that, and within that label there's a number of ways that you can show up.
Hmm.
There's a number of ways that you're an expression of God, right?
Right.
Because in that uniqueness. And so, wow. Yeah, we could talk about this for hours, but I'm sure, you know, we got some broadcasts, right? And other today we got some things that we have to go live for.
Right.
But is there any last thing or anything that's come up in this conversation, for you that you want to leave people with?
Just live and go live. I think that's the mantra for today that came from this. That just live and go live. Don't allow the world to stop you from pressing the button, taking
Right,
steps. Live and go live.
right.
Hmm.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. This is, you know, one of the rare, simple, and easy things to do. We can make it difficult, and
Hmm.
I'm sure I will find ways to make it difficult, right? But the simple thing is live and go live, and watch what happens.
Hmm.
Thank you very much. This has really been a wonderful conversation, and
My
I'll say
pleasure.
our goodbyes. If you can hold on in the green room for a little bit while I say good
Yeah,
in the show, that would be great.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Wow, live and go live. Um, how is that showing up in your life? I really would be interested to see in the comments. How that's showing up for you. What started off for me as this, in some case, embarrassment that I could only see it one way. I've had conversations with my wife before. Is like, sometimes when I'm looking for something, you know, but I'm not really looking for it. I'm looking where I believe it should be, and if it's not there, I can't find it. And so having that mentality of looking and not looking. And so this word and this opportunity within this show and this conversation reminded me that I can be searching and not searching at the same time. I can be looking and not looking at the same time. I can be living and not living at the same time. So I just need to live and go live. The world wants you, the world needs you, and the world is waiting for you. So go be you. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.